Hello, welcome to the second program of Think Sustainable program series. In this series, we'll talk about present challenges regarding sustainability and explore solutions worldwide. About the program, just to give you a little bit hint, it was initiated by Sustainability Steps Association, and Sustainability Steps Association carries out sustainability projects in order to create awareness on not only problems but also solutions. And it also tries to reach and help individuals and organizations at the same time so that they can become a part of the solution. It aims to promote sustainability studies and projects focusing on communication, corporate volunteering, and networking within the framework of Sustainable Development Goals. And to do so, it welcomes and calls for other organizations worldwide to collaborate on future projects. As a sneak peek into what's possible as a solution, our program today will only take about 45 minutes. And in the last quarter, we will try to just answer your questions on the chat box. So today, we're with Janneke Leenaars, the Regional Sustainability Manager at Interface. Janneke, welcome once again, and thank you for being with us today. I'm a little bit excited, as you can see, to talk about Interface's sustainability vision and projects. So maybe we can start with who you are. Can you please just tell a little bit about yourself to us?
Yeah, thank you, Gul. It's great being here with you. It's great to be connected to this very important topic, and that you reached out to me and our company Interface. Thank you for your invitation. So I'm indeed a Regional Sustainability Manager at Interface. My region is the Benelux, the Nordics, and Eastern Europe, and also, of course, then Turkey up to now. And I'm based in the Netherlands, and we are, as an Interface, we are a global flooring company. All across the globe. We have 7 manufacturing sites across the globe. So and it's great to have this conversation together. And I hope, we can share inspiration and knowledge. And happy to hear indeed questions in the last quarter of our dialogue from the audience.
Yeah, I'm also excited about to hear their comments and questions for you about Interfaces, innovation, projects and sustainability projects as well. So to get started with, I would really like to know, to hear about the sustainability endeavors at Interface.
Yes, so I think what's nice to share with you is that we are a global flooring company, and we are listed on the NASDAQ. As shared, we have 7 manufacturing sites across the globe. So we are a big company. But in the same time, I would almost say our mission is to reverse global warming. We call it our mission, Climate Take Back. And well, it's perhaps nice for today to share with you to start how we started our journey. And
that would be great.
Yeah, and this all started in the 90s, in 1994 actually, when our founder Ray Anderson, he had an epiphanal experience. It was after a question of our customer who asked, what is the company doing about the environment? And at that moment in time, in the 90s, we had to answer, we comply. And our founder, he recognized this was an important question. And he founded a task force, and he did research, and he was reading a book in order to give a vision to this task force. And the book was The Ecology of Commerce of Paul. And he has been an advisor of Interface all throughout the years, and is still an advisor of Interface. But this book when reading this book, Ray really had the spear in the chest moment, how he called it afterwards. Like he really realized that he at this moment, he was 60 years old, but he had been successful up till that moment financially, that he really had been hurting with his business, the planet. At a moment in time, he also realized his responsibility, his possibilities to change this, with creating a ripple to really change and the industry. So he said, I don't want this anymore. I'm going to change. I'm going to change my company. I'm going to set on and do a mid-course correction on my company. And he said, I don't want to have any negative impact on the environment anymore with my company. Set a high ambitious goal in 2020, and he called it Mission Zero. But in the end, he also said, I want to become a restorative company, a regenerative company, to have a positive impact. So it all started with that epiphany, with that spear in the chest moment and the realization, I want to change my business. I'm going to change my business, and I'm going on this sustainability journey with aiming very high. So a big moonshot. And Ray, he realized that if you want to have a positive impact, so a regenerative impact, you first have to eliminate your negative impact. So that's when he first started Mission Zero. And that was our program to work towards having zero negative impact. Yes. So that's, and we, I can share and tell about it a lot. But please.
I know. We can. I mean, I feel like we can talk about it like for hours, right?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
it was the same thing in our meeting yesterday. Every time you told me about how it was shaped, throughout your company, I was like in some sort of an awe, and I was really inspired myself as an individual. And actually, you have already answered my second question, which was on the organizational vision. What I noticed in your answer is so it's the company interface has been beyond, just eliminating its negative impact on the planet. It has started to think about what to add more on a more positive sense. So
yes.
it sounds like a paradigm shift altogether. And it's also like, I really liked your, when you highlighted the importance of, creating the awareness and also feeling that responsibility, which eventually creates the ripple effect, not only in your region or not only in your sector, but also all around the world. So, and to me, as an individual and also as a sustainability practitioner, is all about creating this connection and inspiring other people, getting inspired by them and listening to their stories, so that we can bring our common efforts and solutions to problems, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's absolutely about awareness. We celebrated our Mission Zero success in 2019, so 1 year before the goal year, with fantastic results. So we are manufacturing sites on Capital run on 100% renewable energy. We reduced our global greenhouse gas emissions intensity with 96%. 89% less water usage. We reduced our carbon footprint with 74% on average, benchmarked until the year of 1996. We started benchmarking and measuring our impact in 1996. So these were really great results, and we said we are going to continue to live zero, but we want to take up a bigger, more bold mission right now. We will continue, and we will go and realize a pledge of our founder to become a regenerative company. So now we are in our mission Climate Takeback, reverse of global warming, and coming to what your point of creating awareness. So we of course seek what is our most important area of influence, and that is the built environment. And at this moment, we are really sharing the importance of knowing how much impact the built environment has on the environment, and not only in usage of materials and creating waste, but also the built environment has 39% impact of global CO2 emissions. That's a lot. And 28% is related to operational carbon. So the carbon that is related to heating, cooling, and powering a building. But 11% is related to the building materials and the construction. And even more because global population will rise. There will be built in the upcoming 30 years a lot of square meters. I mean, you cannot even, it's mind-blowing. I found a research, it's from the International Energy Agency, that has like a calculation or estimate that from 2015 to 2050, every 35 days for 35 years straight in a row, a city like New York City is built. So this is like a comparison. So much will be built in the upcoming years. So what we build and how we build matters. Carbon matters. And an NGO, Architecture 2030, found out that because we will be building so much, the focus is on operational energy and carbon. But the energy, the carbon emissions, related to the building materials and building the building is almost equivalent. So we really need to have eye on this one. So in other words, before we can use a building must be built, a building must be decorated. And all these building materials and decoration materials have a carbon journey. Mm-hmm. Choosing consciously, and also for the built environment, I think there's a huge opportunity for architects, for end users, for real estate, for governments. If you choose consciously your products or building materials, so low carbon or carbon neutral products, then you're really making a difference. And that is what we are working on, this awareness. So really raising the awareness and the importance of embodied carbon. So the carbon journey of building materials and products. And then that it's important to choose low carbon and carbon neutral products. And this will make a difference in the built environment. It's really important. With only looking at operational carbon, so changing your light source or changing your in your building, we are not going to reach the Paris Agreement. We have to also look at the carbon journey of building materials and products. So awareness is important. Right? Sorry, you?
On a more systemic level, I mean, you are presenting a holistic approach of sustainability. So yes. It's not only up to the individual acts. I mean, of course they matter, but what matters more is the combination of, a wider community or a wider collective of individuals aiming towards a common goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We must do this together. Yes, absolutely. So that's why it's also nice that you are organizing these events and sharing the knowledge of different kind of company, connecting people in your program from all over the world. That's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. This is what we really aim for. You know, it's important for us to reach out to individuals all around the world and also listen to their stories. I think that's the best part of it. And using English as a medium, I think it's better. It's more possible to reach anyone in the whole world.
Yes.
So I'm happy to hear that if you are this.
Yeah, but I like this. Yeah, and what I liked yesterday is what you shared, like, it's important for me to connect people because I know people want to be meaningful and want to have a purpose and to contribute to create a living planet, a planet where a climate fit for life, so that's great.
Yeah, for our audience, this was a part of a talk from our meeting yesterday. So yeah, it turned into a nice conversation, actually. Of course, these talks require a formal way of talking about more serious sustainability problems, but then there comes the human aspect, there comes the human feelings, and yeah, it makes me feel better. So thank you for this positivity as well. I'm feeling quite relaxed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And going back to the formal and more serious parts, because I'm really curious about, I mean, to me, from what I heard from you, also from the research I've done on interface, I could see that like it has come something with something revolutionary, in terms of innovation. So it's really struck me, and I want to hear more about about how you have formulated, how interface has achieved to formulate sustainability and innovation. So, and in a sense, would you consider it as a competitive advantage?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is really a great question. I think with having our mission, the reverse of global warming, sustainability and this mission is really incorporated in our product and innovation priorities. So because this is who we are and this is what we stand for, wanting to contribute to the reverse of global warming and using our company and collaboration with our suppliers and with our customers to create this ripple again, to create that wave. And so it's incorporated in our priorities. And yes, I think we have been a front runner on sustainability for more than 25 years. It helped us to seize a lot of business opportunities. And our prices are competitive, but we don't compromise on sustainability. This is who we are and this is what we stand for. And I think, you can turn it around if you have competition on sustainability. So raising the bar in the market, showing what's possible, challenging suppliers, challenging competition, then it's changing for the good. And what I also think is so changing for the good is in the end, it's that we have a living planet, that there is a climate fit for life. And so sharing and learning from each other and sharing knowledge is very important for us. So we have a lot of we give a lot of presentations. When it was possible before Corona, we welcomed yearly a lot of people, for example, in our manufacturing site in the Netherlands. So we have been pioneering. It gave us a competitive advantage. It still does. Mm-hmm. Also now with our new innovations, I'm excited to share a little bit about it a little bit more.
Yes, please. Yeah.
But we really believe that our innovations should be scalable. Mm-hmm. We don't believe in one hero product and then the others are not good. So, for example, all of our products, so carpet tile products, LVT rubber, they are over the full life cycle, they're carbon neutral. So that's important for us, for example. The innovations we do, they need to be scalable. Now with our new backing, what I will share a little bit more about later, you see that it's throughout, it's mid-range price to upper range price. It's standard on a big part of our collection. It's standard on our global collection. It's optional at this moment to date on the rest. But it's all throughout who we are and what we stand for, and it's towards what we are. Sustainability and realizing our mission that is what we are going for, and it's incorporated in our innovation, in what we do, in our product development, because this is our tool to realize it. Our goal is to be in 2040 a carbon negative company.
Because you have related your vision based on sustainability, right? And then this is why your innovation projects and also production and R&D all stem from it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you. And now, I mean, I think also your answer might have provided our audience with a new outlook on what competitive advantage is really about, right? Because I think it's time that we started to think about the concepts or the wordings, the phrases we have been using so far. So in order to come up with some sort of a systemic change, we need to also be able to change and reformulate the language we are using. So thank you for sharing that with us already.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you. It connects also with like what I shared you on the epiphany of Ray Anderson. Like he realized that he had been financially successful, but he had been hurting the planet. So what is success? So, and he then said, okay, I'm going to change this. I can change this, and I can be financially competitive and realize to be very sustainable and change the industry. And we with our Mission Zero results and being a healthy financially company, we showed it, and now we are in a climate take-back mission. So we will be very successful in becoming a carbon negative company in 2040. So it's great to be part of this journey.
Yeah, it really sounds exciting. I mean, just chiming in, I need to drop in a reminder for our audience. Please feel free to drop any questions you might have in mind on the chat box, by the way.
Absolutely.
At the same time, I have to start, just checking the chat box right now. And if I make any mistakes, please forgive me. Just to, I would like to clarify on this point. And now let's just, after talking about like how the story all began and your current projects, I'd like to hear a little bit about your future projections.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Gül. So what is really exciting is that in October last year, we have launched a new biocomposite backing. It's named Sequest Bio. And this is absolutely fantastic because it's made with recycled and bio-based fillers, and these are measured on a standalone basis, are carbon negative materials. But the effect of this backing, I'm sorry, I'm now totally in our innovation, but the effect of this backing is that it greatly reduces the carbon footprint of the finished carpet tile again. So this is fantastic. So this new innovation realizes again a big reduction of our carbon footprint. But it also, because of these materials, so a carpet tile paired with this backing, on average has 92.8% recycled and bio-based content. So this means that a carpet tile with this backing only has 7.2 virgin material left, non-bio-based, non-recycled. Wow. So if you go back to the mission of Ray Anderson in wanting to severing the umbilical cord to Earth, to not having to use any drip of new oil, we are almost there. So that's with this new innovation on carpet tile. So that's fantastic.
Exactly. I mean,
and for me, it again shows if you are aiming high, really a moonshot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we didn't know in the 90s how to get on zero impact. And now, we want to become a carbon negative company in 2040. we have some milestones, of course. We have ideas of how to get there. But you have to trust that you can reach it and aim high, and you see it will drive innovation and change. And I think this new backing, this sequence biobacking, greatly reducing the carbon footprint again, a very high percentage of bio-based and recycled materials. It shows that if you go for it, you can reach it.
And you're walking the talk, right? That's also important. I mean, setting the vision and coming up with a strategy and then applying it. I think this is also what kind of comes as a tricky point. I mean, sometimes people just know about things, but they don't just put it into action. But what I hear from you is Interfaces has already begun doing so, and it has achieved in its endeavors. So the time is running out, by the way, and I still have some questions. And then on the chat box, we are also getting questions from our audience, nice. Which is fantastic, right?
Yeah, fantastic.
Maybe on a very quick run, I can just shoot my last 3 questions if you are comfortable with it, of course. Please. Let me know. So I'm talking about like partnerships, collaboration, the need for coming together and reflecting on the possible solutions to the already present problems. I'm wondering what your partnerships or what your sort of connection to the non-governmental organizations or civil society?
Yes. So for example, what is really nice is that in the context of our re-entry program, so this is taking back carpet tile that is still can have a second life. We collaborated with charity work, and the carpet tiles, the floorings that were still very good, we cleaned them, and the charity realized it to go to, for example, kindergartens in a jail, but also in the east of Turkey to go to schools. So this is, for example, a collaboration with charity. I think it's nice to know that my colleague Murat Guni in Turkey, he has been a board member of the Turkish Green Building Council for a long time. My colleague Neslihan also, she joined a lot of work groups there. And it's all, again, about awareness. Mm-hmm. And knowing the impact of the built environment and also sharing with each other how this can be changed. For example, with these conscious choices, but also with standards, LEED, BREEAM, so training each other. So that's important, how we collaborated. And I think what is also a little bit more on our sustainability journey is also nice to share is that a little bit step back is that when we wanted to reduce our carbon footprint in the Mission Zero journey, we did an LCA. It's really, I think that's also good for everybody to realize. It's really important where if you want to embark on the journey, that you know what the impact on this moment is, do an LCA, a life cycle analysis, and also see where the most important part of your impact is. And we found out in our journey that our impact was mostly of the carpet tiles in raw materials. Mm-hmm. So we really wanted to change this. And so we work together with our yarn suppliers to reduce the carbon footprint with getting yarn of recycled content from fishing nets. But we also wanted to add a social dimension to this. So together with the Zoological Society of London and the supplier Aquafil, we initiated the project, amongst others in the Philippines, that local communities clean their eco-marine habitat, so the beaches, the waters itself, with the nets that are discarded, to collect it, to bring it to that it can go to the recycle factory for getting the new yarn, but also that the local communities, it's a win-win-win. They have clean beaches, clean waters, and they can earn a little bit for their own living and saving for their children. So that's fantastic. So that's how we also in more global context collaborate in an NGO context.
You know what? I have so many questions to ask you right now, and I don't know how to fit them all.
Yeah, it's impossible.
We have just reached the last quarter one, and I need to give the voice to our audience in here. But just one more question before doing so. And speaking the language of SDGs, you know, I think there are important reference points when we talk about the common problems and coming up with common solutions, right? So what I heard from you is not just only about SDG 13 climate action, but also about SDG 12 responsible consumption and production, as well as decent work and economic growth. So, you know, innovation, SDG 9. So it's fantastic. I mean, you have achieved, Interface has achieved to bring them together, because this is also imminent in your vision. So it's great to hear that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And my last question is, you know, again, coming back to connecting people and individuals and inspiring them and making them think and become more more aware of the problems, and trigger them to come up with something new, to come up with a solution, right? How do you engage the employees at Interface in your sustainability efforts?
Yeah, that's I think that's a fantastic question, Gul. Would you like to know how we engaged when we embarked, or is it at this moment, or for example in when we set our new mission? I can.
In a general sense, maybe you can, if you like, you can speak about the current situation, how you reach out to them, how you take their what they think on sustainability.
Yeah, for starters, it's perhaps nice to mention that when we started the discussions on what our new mission should be after Mission Zero, so what is our next moonshot. There were a lot of workshops and interviews with all employees throughout the company, from all levels, in all countries, to hear what they think was important for us. And what was really nice, I heard that back because I didn't join, I wasn't there yet, is that the insight of the employees was, and that they gave back to the board, is that sustainability and pioneering on sustainability is in our DNA. This is what we are. So the insight of the employee that they gave back to the board is, we expect Interface to take up again a crazy bold mission that takes your breath away, and that we again start on a big innovation journey, and to show the industry and to show the world that it's possible to realize and for example in our industry to become a carbon negative company. So the input and the insights of the employees, and saying to the board, like, we expect a big goal, a big mission, this is who we are. This has been very important in the end, formulating our climate take-back mission to reverse global warming. And at this moment, I mean, we have an e-learning program with lots of sustainability content. I myself, as sustainability managers, and all my other regional sustainability colleagues, we train our colleagues a lot. So in the past 8-10 months, I gave a lot of sustainability trainings on carbon, on the impact of the built environment, on our new sequence biobacking, on what is coming up, how we can help the built environment, how we can help with the carbon goals of customers, with circular economy goals. So, a lot of engagement on sustainability, because it's who we are.
And Murat Güney just commented. So you hear me, right?
Something in the chat. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I was reading the chat box. And So Murat Güney just commented on that, saying every interfacer is a sustainable ambassador.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just becoming this is what I call, not as a, maybe I'm trying to find the right wording for that, because it's really tricky. It's not like I know everything on sustainability, but it's about, let's share what we know with each other, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
this is also what I hear from you when you talk about interfaces, sustainability
Yeah,
projects.
Gül, I think it's also like what's nice, because we are so long already on the sustainability journey. Like sustainability is so embedded in the core of our business, and it's so embedded in every function we have. So it's in my title and in some other colleagues, but every colleague is busy with sustainability. Is it product development? Is it in the manufacturing side, in seeking to for energy efficiency? Is it our commercial colleagues in having presentations on sustainability, or showing the impact of the built environment, and how a conscious choice of products can have a great impact, positive impact. So everybody is working towards this awareness and innovations, of course.
So it has become a mental model for everybody, right? That interface.
It's incorporated in each function, each role. And yes, I think as I said, it's part of our DNA. It's part of the passion, part of our values, part of our
Now now we need to come to the questions.
Yeah, super.
I have the questions in my mind. I really want to ask you, but of course I have to make the time and space for our audience, the questions coming from our audience as well. So there is this question coming from Bilge. She's commenting Interface is a unique company, and then drops a question. She asks how private sector can move fast enough on climate and make the most of new partnership opportunities. I think that's a little bit general question, of course, but it's beautiful in the sense that it combines everything, right?
Yeah, so, I think in moving faster is if you have the possibilities and are able to influence the course of your company, the course of your team, I think it's important again to aim high, to set a big goal.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't know how to get there, a big sustainability goal, and then collaborate and engage your colleagues, seek each other's qualities, seek who can do what. Of course, work with milestones, steer on it, measure on it, and knowing that our journey, our path also wasn't a straight line. We have done a lot of like left, right innovations, and you learn. It's also learning, but you need to have that big goal, and then that will drive the change and the innovations that are needed. If you do it incremental, so little steps, it won't help us to realize what we need to do to reach the Paris agreements together.
You're right. We don't have that much time, right? The clock is ticking. I mean, and we need to be very to the point. We need to be decisive about what we are achieving, but what we want to achieve.
Decisive and courageous. Absolutely courageous. Courage is and trusting that we can realize it if we want to.
Yeah. Bilge also says, I am also full of energy with your energy. Janneke, your energy spreads everywhere. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
This is what I told Janneke at the start of our conversation, so it's really echoed. And there's another question from Emre, and he asks how you set goals for improvement and make yourself more efficient and sustainable. And I think, again, this maybe relates to to my last question, right?
Yeah, I think, for example, if I pull it now towards where we are now, so our goal is in 2040 becoming carbon negative company. So we know there are some steps in between. And so that means, for example, if you want to be a carbon negative company, you need to have carbon negative products. And we had already a pilot. We can expect these soon. So when you know where you want to go, you seek towards steps and areas where you can realize these results. And if I go back, for example, in our Mission Zero journey, perhaps people can relate to that also very well. So in that journey, we were inspired by mimicry and also the natural step, and it helped us to create a roadmap, a holistic model that helped us to realize to getting to zero negative impact. And it was things like no waste, using healthy materials, closing the loop, using renewable energy just like nature does. If possible, source locally, and ask your suppliers for help. So this is, and we still use these foundations to work. Also, for example, now in our, what I shared, since 2017, 2018, we have LVT and rubber in our portfolio. You could say we started there again, our journey. So these sustainability journey. So these 7 fronts I just shared, no waste, healthy materials, closing the loop, renewable energy, we are using them also again. It's a holistic model. So, this also helps. So I think if you have that big goal and you set also ambitions on what you need to achieve. So our goal for Mission Zero was no negative impact. Then we said, okay, if we want to reach that, we have to have 100% renewable energy. We have to 100% bio-based recycled materials. Like all these kind of material areas that combined can realize this result. And then you set milestones and measure where you are and steer on your results.
I read about that. They call them, if I'm not wrong, they call them big hairy goals, like the goals which are too big and like in a way cartoonized, animated. And of course, you need to try to do your best to achieve them, right? So you shouldn't just be pleased with what you have in mind, and also it's important to assess your current reality, so where you are at.
Yeah, and I think it's also good to I think everybody feels this, that if you are in a company that is purpose led, that has a mission, that is working towards a living planet, climate fit for life. In our case, climate fit for life, but it can all kind of related to the SDGs. But if your company is purpose led, I mean, this engages people. This engages your colleagues. It gives passion. It gives energy in your company. It's why you want to wake up and do your utmost best in what you're doing each day at work. So I think it's there are also a lot of research at how important it is that for employees that a company, an organization drive societal positive change. And also for millennials, it's very important to they want this, they require this from the companies they want to buy a product from, but also where they want to work. So also if you're thinking about talent management, it's really important.
That's true. I mean, they have a stand on that, right? They don't want to work with companies. They don't want to become a part of those companies who don't comply with what needs to be done. The
younger generation wants to be the change.
Exactly. And they want to become a part of the inspiration as well. So it's not, as you said, it's a different kind of understanding the world, a different kind of understanding how we need to live our lives, how we produce and consume so that we don't harm the planet, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, Janneke, thank you so much for being with us today. And, you know, I'm really pleased to be with you. And I'm feeling super excited. Again, like, and I have learned a lot thanks to you. And I am also inspired by what you have been doing at Interface as a part of your sustainability endeavors. So, and I'm pretty sure, you know, what you told us today also tells a lot about how companies and private sector can become the exemplary role model, not only for other companies, but also for individuals, for students, for anyone and for any institution, to just become more sustainable in their lifestyle and to create that, that ideal feature for everyone and everything. And so before closing the session, I'd like to ask for any insights from you.
Oh, some ending reflection.
Sort of an end, yeah, remark. I'm sorry, we have come to an end.
Yeah, I'm also sorry. It was lovely to be connected, and I'm very thankful that you reached out. And yeah, I wish everybody very good luck in. I mean, if you're joining and watching this this wonderful meetings that you are organizing, I think you already know where you want to go as a person in your personal life, but also perhaps with your company. So again, aim high, moonshot, and join forces. Seek the qualities in your team with your colleagues, and go for it.
I think this you know means a lot. Thank you. These are the highlights, the keywords already. So, and I'd also like to thank our audience for taking the time, you know, for watching us, for asking like these cool questions. And as I mentioned before, you know, Sustainable Steps Association is looking forward to hearing from other organizations all around the world on a more global scale. And yeah, so in order to do that, we're hoping to meet you all in our next program. So thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.